وَيَوْمَ يَقُولُ نَادُوا شُرَكَائِيَ الَّذِينَ زَعَمْتُمْ فَدَعَوْهُمْ فَلَمْ يَسْتَجِبُوا لَهُمْ وَجَعَلْنَا بَيْنَهُمْ مَوْبِقًا. Suratul-Kahfi, Surah number 18, Ayat 52. وَيَوْمَ يَقُولُ, and remember the day on which he says, that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, what does he say? Nadu, call, shuraka'iya, my partners, allazina, those who, za'amtum, you claimed, fada'awhum, then they will call them, falam, then no, yastajibu, they will try to answer lahum, them. But because of the negation lam, but then they will not even try to answer them. وَجَعَلْنَا, and we will make bainahum, between them, mawbikan. Mawbikan is ism zarf, so the place and time of punishment, the veil of perdition and time damnation. Some of the words may be a bit, difficult to understand, so I'll explain. Some of those have special connotations, even in the English language, so I'll have to explain. The first thing that we start with, call my partners those who you claim, then they will call them. Seems fine. So this is in reference to the people who violated, those who were in constant violation against the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The sinners basically, the criminals basically, right? So this instruction, if you just read the English, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling them now, call my partners, those who you claimed, then they will call them. It seems perfectly okay. But then the problem is the word used, there we have used the first time the word call is nadu, and the word used is call again. The second time we have used that word in the English language, but the word now is different, da'aw. So nadu and da'aw. So naturally the word used in the Arabic language is different. So why do we translate this, translate it with the same word in the English language? So I'm trying to explain to you the difficulty that sometimes we face in trying to capture these subtleties, because the most, the word closest in the English language to both is call, but there is a difference. Obviously, there is a difference. That's why the two different words are used in the verse itself. So we will try to explain that in a little bit more details now. The first time the call is there, it is in the sense of cry out to, but it will be of no avail, no benefit to you today. Call my partners, cry out to my partners, those who you claimed what? Those who you claimed to be my partners, as my partners. Those who claimed were my partners, those whom you claimed were my partners. Call out to them, cry out to them. The fa that occurs, the awhum, the fa is not a cause and effect, causal relationship. No. Because Allah says that is why they didn't know. They know it's of no avail. It's no use now. So it's a timeline event. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is now sort of, what should I say? It's a chasm inherent in it. All my partners, those who you claim, so they'll have no way to escape. It's humiliation upon humiliation. So they eventually, what will they do? They will call them. Now the second time, it is in a sense invoke them, because they used to invoke these false gods. These false gods, they used to invoke them. So that is the sense. But if we read this, cry out to my partners, those you claim, then they will invoke them. That is okay English, but then difficult to sort of understand in the common English language. That is why I call them as more easy in the English language, but we need to clarify those with the additional connotations that is implied basically through the usage of these words. But that is also okay. Cry out to my partners, those you claim. Then they will invoke them. And then the next part is falam. Fa is again then. It's not again a cause and effect relationship. No. It's a timeline series of events. But then what will happen? Yes, tajibu. The sin and the ta, it in the sense of seeking. So jawab. It's not they will answer them, and lam is that they will not answer them. They will not even try to answer them. They will not even attempt to answer them. They will not even seek to answer them. They will not even be able to answer them. So in that sense, so that sin and ta indicates that, right? So now, what does it essentially mean? Firstly, it is possible that they don't have the capacity to answer on that day, but that's not the case. They have the capacity to answer, but they will choose not to answer. What will they answer? So many of these, I mean, the people in general, the masses, whom were they invoking when they were on the earth? Now, those can be multiple categories of beings, I should say. Firstly, it could be, as is referenced 2 verses back, verse number 15, Iblis and his progeny. So the shayateen among the jinn kind. And as I've explained in verse number 51, this group can also include the shayateen among the humankind. And then there could be others. For example, some people worshipped Jesus, for example. But Jesus will not fall into hellfire because he did not instruct them to do so. And he would be ashamed that these people, they called me when I am myself a slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he will be ashamed. Similarly, it could include awliya, the and these awliya, some of them were involved in that sin, trying to become sort of saintly and babas and act as an intermediary. So they deviated the masses, and there were others who were not even aware that their followers would later invoke them. So these categories of people are there. So all of them will be, and there will be those false idols also, the idols that the people used to worship. So all of these are there. So idols cannot respond, but the beings, I mean the human beings, even the shayateen among the jinn kind, those were on the wrong. Those were on the right, those were unaware. They are not accountable for what they have not done or not instructed. But those who had instructed them, so they will have the capacity to answer, but they will be dumb for what will they answer? They will not even try to answer them back. So yastajibu lahum falam, but then yastajibu, sin and ta is there, which means see, the basic meaning see. Yastajibu lahum, they will not seek to answer to them. To is not required. Lahum, to is not required. Seek to answer them or try to answer them, but then they will not even try to answer them. And the last part, and we'll read it again once again. Waja'alna, and we will make, ja'ala, we will make, bainahum, between them, between those who are now being told to call and those whom they will eventually call out to. We will make between them. Bainahum is between them. I've added and for them because of what is about to befall them. They will make between them and for them. And them is in reference to especially the unrepentant sinners. So those who called and those who willfully misguided or deviated the masses. Right? Those who tried to showcase themselves as awliya, the wali, the false walis, I should say, the pseudo walis, I should say, because wali is a good term, protective friend. And many of the walis, awliya, were not even aware. So they are not accountable. For example, even prophets who were made into sort of gods, like Isa alayhi salam, they are not accountable for what they have not instructed. So anyway, so we will make between, so the unrepentant sinners, both on this side and that side, what will we make between them and for them, especially the unrepentant sinners? Ma'ubikan. This is ism zarf. So it indicates place and time of punishment. So it's the way to represent this is in sort of English is the veil of perdition and time damnation, but these are not very usual words in the English language, day-to-day English language. We don't use it daily. It's connected to sort of theological concepts and precepts in certain theology. So the veil of perdition is how should I? You can, in easier terms, you could say the valley of death. So the hellfire, the semblance of a hellfire, and they will begin to fall into it. First, the people whom they called, the idols and those awliya, the pseudo awliya, the false awliya who claim to be, but who were sort of misguiders, they will begin to fall, and that will reach them, those who called, and they will also fall, and they will know that there is no escape for them as well. And timed damnation. So damnation is be in that state of punishment. And timed, I'm saying, because their existence is going to be wrapped up. That's it with them. That is it with them. That's it. Done. And just to go back at the beginning, as I said, Nadu shurakaya allazina za'amtum fada'uhum. This part, cry out to my partners, those who you claimed, then they will invoke them. Right? You got it? Or call my partners, those who you claimed, then they will call them. So if you clarify, if you use the word call with the clarification sort of brackets, then it's okay. Without the word, I mean, with the word call in both the places, it's sort of misleading because the nuance is missed. Without the word call and only the brackets as the primary words in the sentence is also fine. Cry out to my partners, those who you claimed. It's a sarcasm there. Then they will invoke them, but they will not even try to answer them. They themselves are going to fall into that valley of death. What will they answer? In the earth, they claimed big things for themselves and for their followers. Now, this time is up. And the first part, وَيَوْمَ يَقُولُ, وَيَوْمَ يَقُولُ, and remember the day on which he says. So this is of a construct. I've explained this before also. When yawma comes with a verb which acts as a mudaf ilayh, then instead of use on which. So that is it. Then I think zamtum is claimed. Claimed what? Claimed to be my partners. Claimed as my partners. Claimed were my partners. Those whom. So this is it. Then we'll read it one more time. I hope there's a perdition is that place, right, where punishment is happening for the wrongdoers. The vale of perdition is the valley of perdition, the valley of death. You're about to fall into that. And time damnation is because their existence itself is going to be wiped out. That's it. So we read it one more time. وَيَوْمَ يَقُولُ نَادُوا شُرَكَائِيَ الَّذِينَ زَعَمْتُمْ فَدَعَوْهُمْ فَلَمْ يَسْتَجِبُوا لَهُمْ وَجَعَلْنَا بَيْنَهُمْ مَوْبِقًا. And remember the day on which he says, cry out to my partners, those who you claimed to be my partners. Then they will call, invoke them, but then they will not even try to answer them. And we will make between them and for them, especially the unrepentant sinners, the veil of perdition and timed damnation.